Hey guys, it's Ben. No, not SwoleBenji. No, the real me, not the persona, not the channel, clown. The real person behind the YouTube channel. I wanted to talk to you today about just a bunch of random things. So if you want to give it a listen, sure. This video is not a tutorial. This video won't teach you how to be better at Albion or whatever background footage I decide to use. I wanted to talk to you today about my YouTube channel and gaming in general and why I make videos and just rant for a little while because I don't really know where to blow off this steam. I don't really know who to talk to about things. I don't really have people that I can just talk to, and I think that maybe some of you guys might understand me a little better if you just if I just go ahead and talk in a video. Why not? So one of my main motivations for making a YouTube channel is because I just got sick of feeling like a second-class gamer citizen. I would watch other content creators, like this is like before I even made any big channels. They would get early access, beta invites, alpha invites to all the newest games, and I was just kind of sitting here on the sidelines, not able to play, not able to experience anything new. And also that these popular YouTubers and streamers would always get like handouts. They would get, early test realm access to everything, and I wanted that. I play video games my whole life, and I'm just like, well, why don't I also get to do that? So I'm gonna do what I need to do to maybe become popular or get a following, and then I can be up there with them and play games early and stuff like that, right? And that's always been kind of the motivation. I mean, I've been a YouTuber since the site wasn't a dating site. Like YouTube used to be a dating site, all right. And someone decided to upload videos of airplanes one day on the dating site, and eventually, one thing led to another. It became a video uploading site. I would upload like combo videos for fighting games. I won't say which ones. I'm not going to talk about that stuff. That's all for another video. But the point is that I just wanted, I really just wanted friends and people to play video games with, and I just don't want to be bored. Like I watch other YouTubers and they have this army of fans, and like say they join a Rust server and they can have like 30 or 40 people zerging around and having a good time, and me, I try to get people together to do like dungeons and stuff, and I get like maybe one or two people, and they're brand new and they're just doing it because they want the fame, and then they go off and join a guild, and it's whatever. Like I'm just forgotten by next week. It sucks. The whole thing with like wanting to be a YouTuber is I just want to be able to like play games with people and have fun and do a lot of cool things. It's not for any other reasons. For people are thinking that, oh, I'm doing this for money, that I pump out a video every day because I want money. Money is not my driving factor. It never has. I'm extremely ultra minimalistic with my life. I mean, I worked 13 years in retail and I saved the majority of it. I used to, live in an apartment and pay rent and all that, but all I would spend my money on was food, bills, and that's really it. I wouldn't go out to the movies. I wouldn't buy video games. I wouldn't buy random like Funko Pops or anything like that. I would literally just save all my money and never spend it on anything. I didn't invest it. I didn't do anything with it. It just sits in a bank account rotting away. And now that I was suddenly fired a couple years ago for following a shoplifter, I'm like, okay, well, I can just chill on my savings and not starve to death. This is cool. So I can maybe actually go full time on YouTube and actually enjoy video games and the internet for once instead of being by myself. Like when I say enjoy the internet, I mean, think of it like this. Like since 2007, I haven't really made an online internet friend. I know that sounds crazy. That's how many years ago? Since 2007, the Burning Crusade, I think I've made like one or two friends from that game, and that's it. Like I've played through the Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, League of Legends, Multiple Hours Day, Arc Age, Minecraft, all these popular games with tons and tons of people, and tons of other games. And I know people are gonna say, well, it's not them, it's you. You're the problem. Fix yourself. Get some help. Go to a psychiatrist, right? And even the friends that I did make in the 2007 era, they basically tell me, well, hey, you're cool and all, but we're not gonna ever raid with you because you're a lunatic. And I get that, because when I did play with them, I would do stupid crap in World of Warcraft raids, like if someone was being annoying over Ventrilo, which was kind of like Discord back in the day. It was a voice chat program. As a rogue, I had a skill called Tricks of the Trade, and what that does is anything I attack, all of my threat and aggro to the boss will transfer to someone else. And if that someone else happens to be a healer, Well, not only are they getting aggro from my top DPS as a rogue, they're getting aggro from being a healer, healing the main tank, and so the boss will just march himself over and slap the healer dead, and then they will cry in ventrilo, and I would giggle. And that was fun and memorable to me, and it's been how many years, and I still remember stuff like that, so I think it's worth it. It's not something that I would ever stop doing, but I can understand why people don't want to raid with me because I do these kinds of things, and I get that. It's fine, right? So let me just kind of just run through some stuff real quick, like all through like Wrath of the Lich King. I got sick of being ninja looted. I got sick of being, mistreated in random groups, so I just made my own guild, and I used a mass recruiting program that would just mass invite everyone guildless on the server. I was also a YouTuber and a top Warcraft movies content creator at the time, so I was actually very well known. So people would join my guild knowing who I was, and so that they could play with me, right? At the time, I was also full-time working in retail, so I didn't really get as much time to play World of Warcraft as most other people. And as a guild leader, I had over 1,000 members, which eventually was the cap in Cataclysm, and if anyone was idle for more than a week, then they were removed from the guild and they were filled up with new people. So I always had people to talk to and stuff like that, but they were never really my friend. They didn't really want to play with me. Even with 1,000 active members, anywhere from like 4 to 5 to 600 online at the time, as the guild master, I could ask the guild, hey, does anyone want to go world PvPing? Does anyone want to go gank lobbies with me? And no one, not a single person out of that like group of 600 that were online at the time wanted to do that. Not a single person wanted to play video games the way that I wanted to play them. It was just impossible, right? And so I figured, well, maybe as a YouTuber I can just eventually build an audience and find like-minded people like me to have this kind of fun in video games. So I started going into other groups of people to, like join their guilds and just look for a group of gamers that had this similar mindset where trolling is fun and let's do funny stuff in video games. But what I found was just a whole lot of groups that were really nasty, and what they did was they would do real life trolling. So like these kinds of gamers, they would like find a streamer and they would do a password recovery like on their Halo Xbox account. And then the gamer would like put their phone on speaker because they think they're getting prank called, and the automated message would say their PIN number. They would then use the PIN number to get the password of the person, and then they would do all sorts of other crap, and then they would like have pizzas delivered to their house and stuff like that. And while some people think it's kind of funny and stuff, it's really annoying to have to go through that kind of crap, because as a YouTuber I had to go through that kind of crap too, and it's whatever. But I'm in a van now, so I'm kind of immune to it currently. But the point is that every single group that I seeked out just kind of did that stuff. I'm okay with trolling in a game, right? But I'm not okay with people that literally, like, order a plumber to someone's house while ordering, like, 4 other plumbers, and then everyone shows up at once, and it's just, like, why? Like, you're not even there to witness it anyway. It's just stupid. It's like, leave their real lives alone. But every single group that I joined that did this, that was into video game trolling, also did this kind of trolling, which I don't condone, but eventually these groups would get bored and they would just cannibalize themselves. They would just start ripping into each other because they had no other targets left or they were extremely bored. So they would just dox each other and talk crap to each other. These people were never friends. They were just like cannibal sadists that just needed to satiate their desires for vengeance or something. I don't know what the deal was with them, but every single group I would join, it ended up the same way. It ended up the exact freaking same way every single time. So eventually I just gave up, right? Like every single one I would join, it's just people that would eventually turn on each other, which means they would turn on to me. Not so saying that, I was, lolsy enough to milk or anything, but essentially they would just cannibalize each other, and it was like, why? What a waste of time that is. So I just kind of eventually gave up. So, after like Cataclysm, there was League of Legends. I was also a pretty big YouTuber for League of Legends. I also streamed to like 400 to 500 people way back in the day when, like, before Twitch existed, when it was Justin TV, when it was livestream.com. I would have an average viewer count on live streams of like 400 to 500, and a lot of people didn't live stream back then because it was very technical and hard. You had to have like 5 programs and a very strong computer, which I had an SLI computer at the time because I did wage, I did work in retail, so I just had expendable money. I was able to juice up a computer with 2 graphics cards and do that kind of stuff, but most people couldn't at the time, which it wasn't really normal for people to do at the time. And out of all of that, like no one like, not a single friend. I didn't make a single friend doing that. So, you know, eventually I just dropped the channel, just abandoned it, just, you know, focused on work, stuff like that. Eventually a new game would come along, like Arcade and Minecraft would come along, and I would play those, and I would build up an audience. And, well, in Arcade, I couldn't make any friends in the game, just because of my tastes and what I wanted in a guild. Like, I would beg every day in every game chat and every forum post that I'm looking for a guild with this, and that. You know, is there any guilds that follow these kinds of things? And not a single one would. They were all like, the same kinds of communities that I just talked about that would cannibalize each other. They're the same kind of communities that would fall apart over drama. And I didn't really feel like making my own guild in Arcade because I didn't really have like, every time I would remake, I would start over from scratch so I can just get rid of all the bad apples from my old channels. And so with Arcade, the same thing happened. You know, I just eventually bought my way into gear in that game. I didn't have friends to, like, run dungeons with and stuff like that, because I really wanted the dungeon gear, because I wanted a specific spear set that ignores armor, and I eventually did get it. It was a spear set that, when the weapon procs, you ignore all defense, so you can kill a tank in one stun combo, basically like a rogue stun lock thing, if you've never played Arcade. But the point is that eventually the game got boring after I got all the gear, because I used a Thunderstruck tree, which was the rarest item in the game. I happened to be the highest, like, wood chopping character on the server, and I happened to hit a Thunderstruck tree. And I sold that thing for dungeon loot legitimately, and yeah. Eventually what I did was I just joined the pirate faction in that game, and then I quit because I started getting more involved with real life people and stuff like that. So I didn't feel like playing the game anymore. It went pay to win anyway. Same thing with Minecraft. Well, Minecraft never went pay to win, but I would play Minecraft and I would, you know, troll servers. Nothing crazy, you know, just join a server and blow up someone's house or dump lava everywhere and make lots of fun videos. And what happened was people, like, it's kind of like being a red in a blue, like, you go to the red zone in Albion Online and you're flagged up. So what happened was people saw these griefing trolling videos, and they just painted me as like a super real life villain that had to be taken out no matter what. Even though it was just people in the game that I was literally just playing the game. I wasn't doing anything outside of the game. But they went after my real life hard. They tried to get me fired from my job. They made sure to turn all my coworkers against me. And at this point, I was a manager, right? So I had to transfer stores. I had to, you know, go to a different district. I had to pretty much abandon all the coworkers and connections that I had just to get away from the internet crap, because people were trying to, you know, do all that stuff to me. And so eventually the Minecraft channel died because of that, because I valued my real life job over silly Minecraft videos where I would pour lava over a spawn point and then kill everyone, and so they would respawn in the spawn point and then die again to lava and stuff like that. And it was usually servers where the admins were trying to, like, get money out of people for VIP access and other stupid things like that. It was nothing, it was all, you know, harmless stuff, but people thought of it like I was this super evil bad guy in real life, like just the worst type of person you can imagine. So that Minecraft, you know, stuff died, and I basically just focused on work after that. And remember, this is several years later. I don't remember how many years ago it was, but it was plenty. And then I made more content on other games. Same stuff would happen, and so on and so forth, until the point where I was just like, whatever, I'll just take a break and then, you know, not even bother with that kind of stuff anymore. There's really no point. And out of all those years, from 2007 to now, I haven't made a single friend. And now with my YouTube channel, currently as it is on Albion, where I've been pumping out like a video a day, which is extremely exhausting. I went grocery shopping one time. I've went out, I haven't done anything else. I've went to a grocery store once in the last 3 months. And I think I forget what else I've done, but I literally haven't went out and had any fun, haven't went out and talked to people, haven't socialized. I literally just wake up, I make videos, I eat, and I sleep, and that's it. And yeah, I go for a run every once in a while or something, but that's pretty much all that I've been doing for the past 3 months. I made over 100 videos in the last 90 days, because sometimes I would pump out 2 videos a day just to try to, you know, get a channel going, get a community going. But like right now, the same thing is happening. I'm getting like raided. I mean, they can't track me down, so what they're doing is they go after my girlfriend, or they go after, you know, a family member or something that they can just latch onto. And the same thing happened in WoW Classic when I was messing with the bracket stacking bots. It's literally just me PKing people that are using bots to stack their PvP rank. And the same crap happened. Like, Like, they went after me and done all that stuff. So at that point, I just want to kill the channel and just change my name, internet name, and just be done with it, because, you know, what's the point, right? I don't want to, like, have to, like, you know, cause my family or girlfriend any kind of grief at their job or their life or anything like that. But eventually they stopped, because I told them I'm just done. I'm just not going to play WoW anymore. And, you know, they were like, okay, whatever. It's a waste of effort anyway. And they were having a lot of people guard those bots. And Blizzard eventually banned a whole bunch of them, but they just kept coming back because they have infinite money and infinite time. So, like, it's just how it is. And now the same thing is happening in Albion. You got all these Redditors trying to rally up stuff. And the cool thing about my current channel and stuff is that some of the people that I've met along the way who have similar mannerisms to me, they have a similar sounding voice, not quite, their voices are a little deeper than mine, but the point is that they're kind of willing to be my stand-in, right? They're willing to take a bullet or take the heat or take the blame, and a couple of them have been getting raided pretty hard, but luckily, you know, they're in either a similar living situation. I'm not going to talk about their living situations or where they're from, but you know, they find it funny. They do it for the lulz, essentially. They're telling me, oh yeah, so today I got a bunch of Bibles in the mail, and it was addressed to you, man. Like, lol, that's so funny. I'm glad that, you know, they're there for me to help me out with that kind of stuff, but essentially, they're basically like a, you know, like a target W for the doxers and the raiders. And what have I even really done on this channel? What, ganked yellow zones? I mean, I've ganked yellow zones. Who cares, right? Oh, I might tell people they shouldn't go into the red zones until they're ready, or someone thinks that I'm misleading people with fame counts, and apparently that deserves having mass pizzas delivered to people that they think is me in real life when it's not. They're not even in the right country, for one, but it's kind of interesting that people are going this far over a freaking video game that, like, I probably won't even remember or care about in 5 to 10 years, and neither will you. Like, I'm literally going to be forgotten. There's no reason you should remember me 10 years from now. It's just freaking Albion tutorial videos. I guess what I'm saying is, like, I still have, like, out of all this time and this channel, I have yet to make any friends from YouTube. I haven't collabed with any other Albion content creators. There's literally 2 creators that will actively say my name. That's iNevermore and eCourt. The rest treat me like I'm some sort of villain. I get it. I play a persona in the video game where I'm a villain, I'm a bad guy, I talk back to the game masters, I act like a jerk, and that's the point, because I want to be the bad guy. I want to be the Darth Vader of the story. I want, like we all know eCourt's the main character. He's the main anime protagonist of Albion. We all know that. But the point is, you know, you need an antagonist, and I don't really antagonize him or anything. He's great. But I just mean in general, like, you know, people need, like, a bad guy, a villain, or, you know, like a mischief maker of sorts on the server, and that's what I played as. But the Albion, like, I even told the game masters, like, I've sent tickets in long before, hey, I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be doing that. Don't just take it lightheartedly. I don't mean anything I say. I don't mean, you know, my actions are just all, you know, for goofs. And they don't care. They don't understand that it's, like, not part of their culture or something. I don't really get it. Like, have you ever seen Digimon Season 2 where there was the Digimon Emperor and he's like a bad guy and he's like whipping his Digimon and they're all crying and he looks all evil and stuff, but, you know, like halfway through the season he becomes the good guy? That's kind of the arc I was going for, but people didn't understand it. People didn't get it. People don't understand the internet theatrics or trolling, so I just said, screw it. It's whatever. I'll just not even bother. And to this day, I have tried to call SBI. I've tried to write written letters to them, email them, everything. I've tried every avenue of contact, and they won't talk to me. They absolutely won't say a freaking word. And so a lot of people think that I'm out to hurt the Albion community, that I'm out to, you know, like, trash the game or tank it or sink it or whatever the word is. And that's not the case, because, again, if their game succeeds, then by proxy, all my tutorial videos also succeed. And you know, like, the game is all right. It's an all right game. You know, I enjoy playing it. It's fine. I just don't enjoy the fact that I'm completely ignored, and they do things like they had a giveaway a long time ago where they gave every content creator but me giveaway codes for their fans, and I have a lot of loyal, good, honest, awesome fans. And I didn't have any codes to give them, and that's just kind of messed up. It's like they're just out to, you know, do whatever they can to spite me. And then the fact that I've caught multiple SBI employees talking crap about me on the Steam forums and on the Reddit, And even on their sock puppet accounts, which it's pretty obvious which ones that they are, because they go to like the other subreddits like MMORPG and whatnot, and they just have shills everywhere. I understand that they have a lot of dark and curious money coming in from shady sources, and not to mess with them, because that becomes like a real life mafia thing. But the point is that like I'm totally open to communication and you know, networking and all that fun stuff, and collabing with other content creators, assuming that we have the same kind of beliefs and personal opinions on things, and that's fine. But SBI has zero reason. They don't like me at all, and I don't understand it. Like, I can see like a year or two from now they have like some sort of anniversary video. Like take the people that make Dead by Daylight, right? They had their anniversary lately, and like on their stream they had all these other content creators like make a little 30-second clip where they talked about the game and showed a clip or whatever, and everyone's like, oh, that's so cool, these are like really cool content creators. I can see SBI doing the same thing, but leaving me completely out like I don't exist. Kind of like how YouTube Rewind did with PewDiePie. PewDiePie did something to upset YouTube. I don't know what he did, but they left him completely out of YouTube Rewind, and everyone got upset, as they should. I feel like SBI is doing the exact same thing, and I don't know why. I don't know what I did. So it's whatever, man. Like, the point is that also this whole community thing, it's there's something called Poe's Law, where if you pretend to like be a villain, you start attracting actual villains, thinking that you're not being like sarcastic or funny or any of that kind of stuff. And what's been happening is that group of people is fighting the group of people that legit also think I'm a villain, to the point where it's like the extremists on both sides are just fighting each other, and they're using my Discord or my video comment section or Reddit as a battleground. And like, personally, I don't really care if Reddit doesn't think that the way I say fame is calculated, because to me, if I want to level up a weapon with 100,000 fame and I make 50,000 fame credits, to me that's 100,000 fame. And I don't really care if they want to classify fame as what's shown on the stats page, or what you would earn if you didn't have maximum spec with auto respec and a satchel on. Again, I don't really care. I make it clear in the videos that's how I calculated it, but I get that these Redditors don't have time because they have to work a crappy job and probably have a family to feed and stuff, that they can't actually look through the video and get the full understanding. You can't really fit those details in the description of a video for certain reasons, which I'm not gonna tell you why. And the title and the thumbnail, you literally can't fit all of that info in there. And if you did, your video wouldn't get any views because you would just be taking up too much space. But the point is that I try my best in my videos to show my work and stuff, but I've also found that like if I comment on another content creator's video, just something random, like there's a guy that posts a video every day of him using a brimstone staff and dumping a meteor onto a crowd of people, right? And I just ask an innocent question like, so how much faction points do you earn from this, right? And like 10 people will jump on my butt saying, oh, well, you shouldn't care, dude, unless you could spreadsheet. Why do you care? You never leave the yellow zone. Like, I get it. It's all good fun. It's all in good jest. But I mean, I'm just curious. I'm not like trying to pick a fight or nothing. I'm not trying to start any crap. And then like, even in like Ecorp's comment section, I'll be like, hey, so was this, battle royale thing, was it like pre-planned, or was it an SBI thing? And then people assume that I'm complaining and that I'm whinging and crying and starting crap. And I'm not. I'm just legit curious. I don't understand where people get this idea that I'm legit like trying to be an antagonist in that form. That's not how I have ever operated. But I don't know what this video honestly is or what the rants are. But every single avenue I've tried to make friends has failed. Let me just explain, starting with this specific channel, alright? So the very start of the SwoleBenji channel was a game called Will to Live Online. There is a British streamer that I saw playing it, who I don't know if I was in his good graces or not, because there's been a lot of gremlins in his community that have tried to frame me or paint me in a bad light to him, and at the same time there's a lot of stuff that happened that I was unaware of, that like people tricking me into interviews and stuff, but they're actually against him. So he thought that maybe I was grimming even though I'm not. But the point is that at some point he decided to play Will to Live Online, which is it's like that Russian game Stalker? It's basically a first-person post-apocalyptic MMORPG. So I decided that I'm going to make a new name and make a whole new persona for myself, and I'm going to start with Will to Live Online. So I made a couple of guide videos. The game didn't have really the player base to care. I just made them for myself. And I tried to make friends in that game, right? It's a PvP VE game, so essentially you hunt monsters with guns. It has voice chat over the game, and you can kill other players, and they will drop a little bit of loot. It's kind of like Albion Online, but a first-person shooter, and you don't drop everything you're wearing, just some ammo, some healing items. You don't drop your equipment or anything. So what I did was I just played the game normally. You know, I tried to make friends, and of course I would gank and kill people because that's part of what the game is. And the whole server just ended up hating me, right? The entire server just ended up hating me, even though I wasn't gatekeeping the in-game monsters. I wasn't, protecting the in-game dungeon areas or the in-game, like, lootable areas. I was just running around, like, the starter area, maybe the medium areas, just leveling spots, and I would kill people after talking to them for a little while. Not like in a backstabby way, but like I let them know that I was coming for them. I gave them fair warning. And I would always use this, like, squeaky, annoying voice, like, haha, I'm coming for you, dude. Gotcha. Thanks for the meds, bro. Right? Like, just some little troll, silly cartoon voice. That's how I like to play video games. Like it's a cartoon. Like, you're just having fun. And the whole server ended up hating me, but I eventually hit maximum level, and everyone started quitting. So the eventual people that gatekeeped the in-game zones, they just got tired of me coming every single day and fighting them, and they're just like, whatever, bro, just come on in, have fun, whatever. And then they all quit, and it's like, well, no one ever really wanted to contact or play with me, and the game just died. That game has a whole history. I'm not going to go into it, but essentially that whole time of, like, I was streaming on Twitch at the time. I have a reason why I don't stream on Twitch. It's very feminist-oriented. There's no discovery algorithm. There's a lot of... I've spoken in many of my videos why I don't stream on Twitch. So eventually, I was like, hey, WoW Classic is a thing, and we got like a year to prepare. So I started digging up all my old videos, all my old stuff, and I started really playing for WoW Classic because I haven't made a friend since 2007 WoW TBC, right? And I was like, well, maybe I can make a friend in WoW Classic. And I did a lot of planning. I joined every single World of Warcraft community there is. I joined every forum, every Discord, everything that had to do with WoW, every big Twitch YouTuber, etc. that had made a name for themselves. I joined all of them and interacted with everyone in a very positive way. And I decided I'm going to try to find a community of like-minded individuals. So I networked with some old people, which is very risky because I'm under a new persona, so that I can't be doxxed and I can't be backstabbed or betrayed. And, these few handful of people I really trusted, and they're fine. To this day, they're still cool, but they still don't want to play video games with me because I'm an asshole, but that's besides the point, right? So I joined... Sorry, I'm just cleaning the keyboard while I talk. I gotta multitask here. I gotta keep my hands busy. It's hard to talk and not, do anything. Just general autism stuff. So I network with them, and they're like, hey, so we're gonna join this guild. This guild is everything that you're looking for. They are based in Red Pilled. They are... very, leaning towards a certain, political spectrum, that these users are pro-free speech. They will let you say and do whatever you want. They want a PvP, they want to gank the lobbies, they want to do all this fun stuff. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's join them, right? Let's go. Because I had tried to network, before WoW Classic went live, and that was, the best bet, right? Even watching the dude's streams and stuff, the whole show... It seemed legit, but once we started playing together, everything flipped tables. It was, you can't say this, you can't do that, you shouldn't do this. And then they were being really unfair because I could sniff it out immediately that their inner circle did not care a single crap about their viewers, their fans, friends. They didn't view any of us as a friend. They just cared about, 4 or 5 people in the inner circle, and it didn't matter what anyone else wanted or did. It was all just about them, their little established inner circle. So, they transferred servers, and I stayed behind on Scarum, and I tried to be as normie as possible, and I managed to pretend to be a normie using my real-life retail manager persona until I got geared, and then that's extremely exhausting to pretend to be a normie. I know a lot of people who grew up as a normie in a normie household. It's normal to them to act normal, but for someone like me, it's like being an actor 24/7. It's like being an undercover person. It's extremely exhausting and taxing, and just makes you weep for your soul. It's so horrible, and I just couldn't stand it anymore. So I just revealed my true self, and let me tell you, my true self was always looking out for bros, you know, helping guildies, being completely selfless, you know, all the good traits of a good friend. But the only thing that I had going for me was anyone outside of the guild or just randoms, then I would torment or troll in the game, not outside. I would never troll outside the game. And they didn't like it, they didn't respect it, they didn't see me as a person, they didn't see me as a friend, they just saw me as a cog in the machine, and then out I went, right? And that was pretty much it. For Scarum, and then eventually I switched to Faralina so I could just use my geared character to solo gank streamers, which was pretty fun. Again, I wouldn't go overboard with it. I would kill them for like an hour or two, you know, and I mean that's the game. It's Horde versus Alliance. When you install the game, you know what you're getting into. Whenever you stream, you know what you're getting into. Whenever I stream, I know what I'm getting into. Whenever you play on a PvP server and you're on the enemy faction, you know what you're getting into, right? And eventually I did meet a nice group of lads that had similar ideals to mine, but not all of the ideas of mine. And they're fine, they're great. The only problem is that I don't fit in. I don't feel like I fit in with them. They're all adults with jobs and stuff and normal lives, and they view most things normally, and they enjoy the fruits of their labor, and I don't really play WoW anymore, so I don't really connect with them much, and I wish I could connect with them more, but they just don't play any games that I play, so it's like, well, I'm not playing TBC, and they're all kind of playing TBC, and I don't really reveal my full power level to them either, because I think that they may hate me for it, so it's just kind of like, you know, it's whatever. I don't know, man. So I started playing Albion, of course, you know, I'm playing Albion. And what I found in Albion was that it's really hard to find people in the outside world that spoke English. Like, yeah, there's guilds and stuff. And, you know, I played for quite a while, decided I'd build up a YouTube following with Albion, and maybe I can get some lads of my own to play with and stuff like that, and it just wasn't working. So I started looking for guilds. And, like, I started asking, like, Arch about guilds and what they allow and what they don't allow, and what happened was Reddit took that as some sort of, oh, I'm such a really bad person because I asked Arch about this thing. And that led, you know, to a whole bunch of freaking anti-fans and in real-life stalkers and raiders. And then I went to another guild that literally advertised itself as the type of guild I was looking for, but when I joined their server to inquire about it, it turns out that they were completely lying, and it was like a reverse trap where they can just nab people that fit their wanted player description so that they could torment them like all those other communities I spoke about earlier, where they just cannibalize each other and try to in real life raid and dox each other. That's what that was. It was another one of those guilds. So I just left immediately. I never joined them. I didn't bother. And then the problem with like someone like me trying to join a guild based around my tastes is that if just making a post on Reddit, on you know, the official forums or anywhere, asking for such a guild on their Discord, it's just straight up a ban. They don't even want people seeking a guild like that. Okay. It's not something I can really explain to you. It's like, I'm looking for a guild with this, and this, right? And they're like, well, you're a bad person for wanting this, and this. And I'm like, no, I'm not. That's just my taste. That's just what I want. I don't want to play with this, and this. And because I don't want to play with this, and this, by proxy, you don't want to play with me. And that's fine. You know, so let me be me, and you can be you. But no, people they take it super offensively. They go on these brigades, they get their whole fan base to attack me, and it's whatever, man. Like, I don't really understand it, I don't get it. That's just how it is. And to this day, I just stare blankly at my desktop and don't really socialize with anybody. And I try. I try. I don't know what else I'm doing wrong. Like, I'm at the point where it's like, should I even play video games anymore? Video games just aren't working. Yeah, in real life, like, I can get along with most people, even if they're crazy and stuff. Like, I can generally be on most people's good side. I think out of 13 years of retail, there were 3 people who did not like me, and that is because I essentially worked harder than them, and it made them look bad. Like, you know the whole story where, like, you know, like if you're a police rookie or a firefighter rookie, you should never upstage the captain. Well, I wasn't gonna not upstage the captain, right? So yeah, that's kind of what happened with that. And you know, it's whatever. I don't really care. I'm not gonna like work less hard so that someone else can look better in front of their superiors. Like, hey man, if you can't keep up with me, then maybe you shouldn't be in that position, right? And eventually, you know, I got the manager position anyway. So and that's another thing. Like so many people hated me in retail because I would just outrank them. Like I got promoted so fast when I first started. I started out as a bagger, where you bag groceries and you have to clean the bathrooms and go return shopping carts. Ha ha ha, right? That's where that comes from. Sort of, not really, but... And like within a very short time, I was getting many promotions, and all the people that had been there for years were upset. And it's because I always showed up early and I stayed over when asked. I had open availability, and I was, you know, I did the job. I did what was asked of me. And I'm the same in gaming guilds. I'm the same as a friend, as a bro. And I try to be the same as a YouTuber. I don't try to mislead people or do anything like lie. Like people say that I'm lying in my videos. I'm not. Everything in the videos is true to me and my experience with the games. I don't really quite understand why people have a problem with that, but that's just how it is, and I don't get it. So I think maybe in the future, if I start a new game, and here's another thing too that I'm going to rant about, is that I have applied, like I have a channel with over 600,000 views a month, almost 25,000 subscribers, and yet I apply to all these games, and you know, asking to be in their alpha and their beta programs, and they are 100% all denied. I don't understand what I'm doing. Maybe they don't want the Albion audience. Maybe they see Albion as a joke. I don't know what the deal is. But there are channels much smaller than me that are getting approved to this thing, and I don't know if it's from the country that I live in, if it's they click a random video and they don't like the sound of my voice, or they Google my name and see a Reddit post as the top result that says I'm mental. I don't really get what's going on with that, but I don't know. I just feel like life has given me a bad dice roll, and I just don't know how to crawl out of the hole that I'm in. There's just no escape. Like, I mean, I don't think I'll ever own a house. I don't even think, you know, like, that just feels so way off to me. Like, I would need, like, 200,000 subscribers to buy a house at this point. Houses are, like, $500,000, and even if I worked retail my whole life, like, people are like, just get a job, man, just get a job. Like, there's no education, so there's no capacity for education. Like, oh, well, if I could do it, you could do it. No, my brain literally is not wired like yours, and I cannot get the certificates required to even pass the educational certification requirements. And at that point, like, the best job I could have is retail manager, which is what I used to have. But the problem with being a retail manager is that once you're red-pilled essentially to the world, where retail companies, multi-billion-dollar companies, do not let their employees follow a shoplifter and get their license plate, even though that is, by theory, the citizen's right thing to do to make the world a better place. Because lawsuits and danger, and, you know, shoplifters are violent criminals. They can be violent criminals. They can be pushed to, you know, draw a gun on you and stuff like that. But the point is that by not doing that, it's soul crushing. If I don't do the right thing, like say I'm just at a clothing store walking around. I haven't bought clothes in 8 years because I'm a huge minimalist. A lot of my clothes have holes in them. You know, like, I don't see the point to upgrade my clothing unless I absolutely need to. A lot of my clothes, they're holey, they're ragged, they're ripped and torn. And, you know, as long as they legally cover the right bits, I'm fine. I don't really care about style or fashion. But the point is like, say I'm in a clothing store, I'm just walking around, and someone's shoplifting. I feel that it is my duty to do something, anything, and not just have the bystander effect of standing around and doing nothing. But as an employee for a company, there are companies that don't even let you look at the shoplifter. Like, for instance, there is a popular pharmaceutical store that sells random, you know, like grocery goods. And their policy is, if someone is shoplifting, you look away from them and you ignore their existence until they are gone. You don't go outside, you don't look around, you don't get a description, you don't even call the cops. You just let them do it. Let them fill up a whole trash bag full of cosmetics and baby formula that actual people would really need for their children, food, etc., that they're just going to sell for drug money anyway. You let them fill up that whole thing, and then you just keep working like normal, like it never happened. You don't talk to them, you don't look at them, you don't do anything. And if you do work for these companies and you do anything, you make a snide comment, you look at them in any way, they check the cameras. They have a whole team that checks the cameras to make sure that you are abiding by those rules that you signed when you got hired. Then you're fired, you're gone. It doesn't matter how good of an employee you were, how long of an employee you were, how if you're like a spokesman for the company, if you've been a frontman, main speaking role in one of their commercials, none of that matters to the company, because they just fire you because you broke some stupid law or rule. It's not a law. It's literally just a dumb rule that they made up so they can safeguard, like from having a lawsuit or something. But like at the same time, the shoplifters know the rules. The shoplifters have these little underground forums where they discuss all their little tactics, and there used to be a subreddit for it. And they know that if the employee talks back or looks at them or does anything of the sort, that they can just call corporate and tell corporate, yes, hello, corporate, I am a shoplifter, and I was at this store, and this employee looked at me while I was shoplifting. Fire him, thanks, bye. And then they will still fire you. They will still get rid of you. It doesn't matter, like I said, how good of an employee you are. It doesn't matter how hard you work or how often you show up or how perfect your attendance is for years. You have no value with that company. You are literally just a broken cog in the machine, and you are G-kicked, right? You're kicked from the guild the second you do that. So to tell me to get a job and to work in retail, which is the only thing I qualify for in the part of the world that I'm in, with the education that I'm capable of getting, here, let's say I bent the knee to the role and never did anything, of the sort, and just let the shoplifters rob the store blind, okay? So being a manager in a store that's getting robbed blind is suffering because you have no employees. You have absolutely no help because you have to cut all the hours. Like, say the shoplifters steal like $4,000 worth of goods, which is a low amount for a shoplift, for a heist, right? So the next week, your budget comes in, and you have to make up that $4,000. Yeah, sure, there's a little bit in the budget for shoplifting and damaged goods, but not $4,000 worth a week, okay? So you have to tell all the cashiers, which are usually middle-aged and old ladies that usually have to work one or two jobs. They suffer. They have a family that's starving. They have bills to pay. They live paycheck to paycheck because they're not a minimalist like me. They have actual wants and desires and mortgage payments and stuff like that. You have to tell them, I'm sorry, Betty, that I'm going to have to cut your hours because it's not in the budget, and then they get upset, and that's heartbreaking because once you're a manager, if you actually care about your employees, it's like they're a second family. So it's really, really, really hard to cut their hours. It's just soul-wrenching. It's soul-crushing. But at the same time, now that you don't have like half your staff because you had to cut the hours, as the manager, you have to do all of their jobs. So what ends up happening, if you're in a big retail store, all you have is a self-checkout available. The little kiosks where you buy your own groceries and electronics and crap. No cashiers, no service center people, no janitors, no people to go get carts. It's all on you for like 3 or 4 hours because, obviously you have to cover it yourself or find a way to make up for that budget. So you have to be on a conference call because you're the manager. So you're on a conference call at the service desk, using the service desk as a cash register while you're having to process, like 50 freaking Western Union transactions of people that are not even legally in the country, that are sending money out of the country anyway. It's an extreme pain in the butt, and it's soul crushing, and the customers get mad at you because they want more cashiers. They're like, well, why am I shopping here if there's no cashiers? Well, I'm sorry, miss, someone shoplifted all of the hours away, and the company won't let me have anymore, it's clown world. It's absolute lunacy. It's crazy. And let's say I dealt with all of that soul-crushing bullcrap, okay? And let's say I bent the knee and looked away from the shoplifters. Okay, so here's the thing. You pay rent for a crappy apartment. You pay rent for the car insurance because you have to drive 2 hours to work every day and 2 hours back home. 12-hour days, 6 days a week minimum. Sometimes you have to work 7 to 14 days in a row because management has to cover everything, like I just said. If there's a shoplifter, you have to cover that. So you're working like extreme hours. You don't get to go to the gym. You don't get to play video games. You don't get to have a life. You're so exhausted and tired, and you're eating crappy food, and your body's just becoming a sludge factory, and you're just miserably not getting any sleep because your freaking phone is constantly ringing off the hook because you have your coworkers that need help. You got to go in and help another store that's in the district because they're having problems, and you're a salary man. You got to go in. You got to do it. Like, people say that Japan has it really bad. Well, other parts of the country have it really bad too for salarymen. All right, it's not just Japan. So get off Japan's back for a bit. But on top of that, you're making like bottom dollar. Like, okay, so the way it works is these kinds of jobs, you're salaried, so it doesn't matter. Your pay rate is based on everyone else's pay rate in the whole country, in the whole company. So it's not like you're, some like software engineer or some smart college person that you can just negotiate a job because they need you. You're literally a cog in the machine they can immediately replace. So they pay you the absolute cheapest bottom dollar possible. So what that means is that when you're living in your crappy apartment, with driving your beater of a car, paying outrageous rent costs, outrageous food costs, because you have to eat, you get like maybe 10 to 15 minutes as a salaryman to eat at these retail jobs because you're constantly having to do something. Sometimes you just have to eat while working, which is, against the rules, by the way, and you're in trouble. So you work to the bone. You barely make any money. Most of your money is going towards rent. It's going to other bills. And by the end of the year, you let's say you're real min-max or minimalist. I am a huge minimalist. I don't spend anything other than bills and food. And in this lifestyle, let's say you end up saving $12,000 a year. Well, when a house costs $500,000, that is, what is that, 40-something years? 40 to 50 years of doing this life to own a house? That's unobtainable. That's insane. You're throwing your entire life away to own a house that you'll never, and by the time in those 40 to 50 years that you save up $500,000, how much your house is going to be 40 to 50 years from now? They're probably going to be like 10 million. It's a rat race you can never win because the goalpost is constantly moving forward. I mean, food is already going crazy high prices. I mean, right now to buy a steak is like $20 to $30. It's insane. It's crazy. And rent is only going up. I think in the last 2 or 3 years, rent has doubled in my area, and it was already ridiculously stupid. And had I stayed with that company, had I never been fired, then I would be like at a freaking, I work all month, and then all of that money would go to rent, and I would have nothing. And people are like, well, just get a second job, just get a third job, bro. When you're working 12-hour days, driving 2 hours back and forth, that's 16 hours minimum. What other job are you going to get? It's a never-ending. The point that I'm trying to get is that there's no success, right? There's no way out, and I don't know. This video went from talking about not being able to make friends to not being able to make a livable wage to not being able to have a life and not being able to have a house. So I guess the point is, I don't know what the point is. I just needed to rant and ramble. And I'm sure there's a lot of armchair psychiatrists in the comments that'll try to tell me, oh, well, just go get an education, bro. You can't. Let me tell you. When you spend a whole year trying to learn how to do the math, and you read every book, you hire tutors worth thousands of dollars, you watch every single YouTube video there is on the damn subjects, you read every book, you read every webpage, you do every trick, and you don't make any steps forward. Do you remember the children in school that just could not read? I'm talking like in high school, like the kids, like the teacher would call on them because they're sadistic and they just want to bully the kid, and they know the kid can't read. They know the kid can't read, and they're bullying them, literally. They're literally bullying the children, okay? And they call on the student, and they're like, okay, Timmy, read the next paragraph, and Timmy's just like, that's how my, I can read, I can obviously read, but, that's how my brain works with a different subject in school, okay? And no matter what I do, and no matter who I seek, there is no solution to it, okay? Even a CAT scan reveals nothing. Nothing's wrong with my brain. I didn't get conked on the head. I'm straight edge my whole life, so it's not any kind of drug thing. It's not like a genetic thing, all right? It's just something with my brain and how it developed and how school teachers treated me growing up. And I don't know what the deal is, but I don't know the solution. I've tried for years. When you try to do or learn or be good at something for a freaking year and you don't make a single step forward, then it's a waste of time, it's a waste of money, it's a waste of everything for you to even try or bother to do. So to tell me, oh, just get an education, bro. Just get an education. Just go get a college degree. Yeah, just go become like $100,000 in debt with no guarantee of a job. And just do this. Just do a trade. Just do a trade. Do you know that every single trade out there requires the kind of math that I can't freaking do? Okay, just learn how to weld. No, you need trigonometry, you need geometry, you need all that stuff to be able to weld. And I'm not talking like the bottom tier welders that barely make, I can make more than a welder doing the manager job, right? I can make more money than them at the bottom tier. Yeah, sure, the top end welders, the ones that make their own businesses, sure, they make more money, but they have to do all the hard freaking math, okay? And that's how it is with electricians and HVACs and plumbers. All that stuff is beyond my brain's ability to do. There isn't a job that I can go do. Yeah, I'm physically fit, so you would think I could make a good firefighter or a cop or something. Nope, not allowed. Without the math, you are not allowed to even try out for those jobs. When Australia was on, literally the whole country was on fire, And it's like, well, I could help put out the fire. They're like, nope, sorry, mate, your math sucks. That's not an Australian accent, by the way. But you get the point. Like, there's, you're just not allowed to, I'm just not allowed to participate in life. I don't know, maybe like, this is a video game, this is a simulation, and I'm playing the free trial, where I don't get to unlock my full character's potential until I pay for premium or whatever. I don't really get it, okay? That's just how I feel sometimes. And so, I don't know what else to do. So I just make Albion videos. I just make videos in the hopes that maybe one day that I'll have friends and I'll have fun and I'll get to feel like a real human being and I'll get to feel normal and maybe I'll be able to have a house, be the first person in the entire generation of my whole family's line to be able to just live in a house. It's so crazy. Like, I remember the first time I ever met other people and hung out at their literal house. I was like, so this is what a house is like. This is crazy. This is so nice. If I grew up in this kind of environment, life would have been so awesome and I would be so happy. But when you grow up in hotels for like the majority of your life in trailer parks, it's not, I'm not ever going to be normal. So I'm not ever going to be able to fit in with like the normies in these guilds in these video games. And a lot of I'm an outlier for the kind of person that I am. Like, the kind of person that I am, the 99% of the people in my shoes would either just, like, succumb to drug and alcohol addiction. They would succumb to criminal atrocities. They wouldn't even have the knowledge, the brain power, or the drive to even touch the internet, okay? The only reason I ever got into computers and the internet, which was... I'm a little older than y'all might think, okay? I existed before Google existed, okay? I existed before, I don't know, I don't know how to say it, but essentially, like, computers, the popular computers back then were Apple computers, Macintoshes, right? And then eventually Windows, 95 happened. There was Windows 8.2 before that, but does anyone remember Windows 8.2? And because I was such an avid gamer, as a child... I was literally trained to be a professional gamer because it made money. I was able to go to local tournaments and win a huge amount of money that my parents could never make. And, well, I supported my family with my earnings. And, yeah, so I was driven the path of video games. And to me, I was always trying to figure out the best possible gaming machine, and which, of course, was PC. Everyone knows that PC beats console, especially back in the day. And PC games are way more fun. You had, like, Diablo 2 and StarCraft and all those really good, fun games that people played. And I had to be a part of that, and so I learned all there was about computers, and then what happened through school was that I did all the computer extracurricular stuff. I got to learn Flash. I got to learn video editing at a very young age. I got to learn all that cool stuff because I was a fan of Newgrounds. I made Newgrounds Flash cartoons. Some of them did all right. Some of them got bland. I was never really strong in the art department. But the point is that through some random luck, a ghetto lowdown brother like me was able to somehow get into computers, video editing, and video games. And that is like my only life skill at this point. Not only am I an ex-professional gamer, but I have been video editing for probably 20 years or more at this point. I'm able to freely speak my mind and be social because of my life in retail. Like, before retail, I was a meek, timid, freaking blue-pilled beta virgin, okay? Like, I'll admit, like, I haven't always been the red-pilled alpha Chad that you guys know. The point is that through some sheer dumb luck, I was able to avoid every stereotype that a person like me would fall into. I even was peer pressured my entire life, and every friend that I ever had growing up in the real world all did drugs, all did alcohol, all did heavy smoking, got tatted up, went to jail, went to the military, saw horrors beyond anyone's imagination, came back completely mental cases that don't leave their houses, right? Somehow I've avoided all of that kind of hardship and stuff. So I do consider myself lucky in that form, but at the same time, I still have the burdens of being the down low brother style, the type, because lack of education, lack of capacity for education. Like, I can walk down the street in a rich neighborhood and people will call the cops because I just have that intimidating aura. I don't get it, okay? I get it, my clothes are a little ragged, I'm kind of a tough looking dude, but the point is that I don't know what the point is. Someone like me shouldn't even know how to use or exist on the internet, but here I am. And it's impossible for me, so far, to make friends. Apparently, the one friend, the couple friends I made in, like, 2007 had a similar lifestyle to me. So that's how we kind of, I guess, bonded, I suppose, sort of. I don't really know, but I'm just grinding away at YouTube, hoping things change, and maybe things will never get better. I don't even know, man. Like, I didn't even think I would be alive this long. Like, I've come so close to death so many times from just random freak accidents and health issues that I'm surprised I'm still alive. At this point, I'm thinking that every time I actually die, I wake up in a even more clowned up world where, like, the Berenstein bears, the fact that Pikachu's tail isn't black on the tip anymore, the fact that South America doesn't line up with the middle of North America, the fact that New Zealand has moved locations 3 times, and this is all the stuff for another video. I know you guys think I'm just schizoing out, that I'm just a crazy lunatic, and maybe that's why you watch me, maybe that's fine. I used to watch a guy that played Super Mario World, and he would just make completely incoherent sentences that made no sense and had no structure or anything. He would literally just say random words for like 40 minutes at a time while I played Super Mario World. I don't remember the guy's name, sadly. I don't think he really ever said it. But, yeah, I don't know what I'm getting at, guys. But if you listen to the whole video, just let me know in the comments. I literally read every comment. I don't have a life. I don't have a job. I have infinite free time. So I literally read every comment. Now, like I said before in previous videos, if you leave a comment where you don't put a space after a period, YouTube thinks it's a URL, and they filter it. And if you say bad words or bad phrases, YouTube automatically filters it where I never actually get to see it. It's not me doing any kind of deleting or hiding comment crap. That is all on YouTube. That is not me. So I'm just letting you know. Anyway, if you guys have any questions for me, you can leave those in the comments. I'm sorry that this isn't a tutorial video or really beneficial to you, but if I just end up dead one day, then this video is just out there on the internet, so 4chan can make fun of it and you know, post memes about it and stuff, or I don't know, I don't know what this video is. It's just me just dumping a whole bunch of verbal diarrhea all over you guys, and I'm not trying to, like, give you my emotional baggage or show weakness or anything. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to proceed. Like, I need a real life guide. Like, where's the YouTuber that's like, okay, so when you're at this part of life and you don't have this and you don't have that, you can go grind this and this will give you enough money, and, like, come on, where's that at, right? Like, I'm successful in every game I've ever played, but what happened in life, I don't know. It's just how it is, and if some people are going to tell me, well, just be friends with people and ignore the differences, but that's the thing. I'm not going to bend the knee. I'm not going to inhibit my own personal freedoms of speech and choice. All right? Like, a lot of people are like, just join a guild in Albion. Just join a guild. But when someone tells me I can't wear something, like, say I want to do a hardcore expedition. Well, what if I don't want to use the royal cowl? What if I want to use a different helmet? What if I don't want to use the shoes of tenacity? What if I think the tank should hold aggro? You know, what if a whole lot of other things, right? I want to use what I want to use because that's how I want to play it. And if they don't want me to use that stuff, then they can be like, I don't want to play with you. And I'm fine with that. That's absolutely fine. But I don't know, guys. I don't know sometimes, okay? Anyway, so like I said at the start of the video, I'm Ben. I'm not talking as SwoleBenji today. I'm Ben. Thanks for watching. You know, I would say be a bro, stay swole, but because I'm speaking as me, not my persona, I just want to let you guys know that I really appreciate everything too. Like, it's really, really cool. There is some upsides to being a YouTuber for Albion. Things like where I make a video about the siphon energy, and like everyone freaked out and bought the whole thing out. I thought that was really cool that, you know, people actually listen to my advice and stuff like that. Or I make a video about how light crossbow was one of the best budget builds in the game, and then everyone freaks out and buys out all the light crossbows. I mean, I'm not a light crossbow salesman, but I just think that it's cool that I've reached the power level of YouTube where I can kind of influence a market. And it's not like I want to use that power to influence a market. I don't really care. I just think that it's cool that people actually listen to me, that I'm not just like speaking to a void. I'm not just speaking into an endless pit of despair, you know, like the Shadow Realm or something. That there's actual a reaction to the things that I do in the game, and I really appreciate it, guys. I really appreciate all the comments that y'all leave me. I really do. It's just it's really nice. It's like you guys are the only social outlet that I have. I wake up and I make a video and I play a game. I can't even talk in the game. All the time people write up and like, oh, SwoleBenji, hey, SwoleBenji, hey, SwoleBenji. And I can't reply because I'm muted. I'm perma-muted on that account. I literally cannot talk to anyone. Because I would say like, hey, man, what's up? What's going on, man? Hey, welcome. You're in the video. Yo, what's up, dude? But
can't, because SBI won't let me, and SBI doesn't care. I don't even know if SBI watches my videos. I just know that they hate me, and they hate my guts, and they want me gone. And I don't know, like, if I play another game, if I'll have any luck making friends, or if the same crap will happen. Like, say I play New World and I make a guide on how to gather lightning flowers or something. I don't even know what they're called. Shock blossoms? Who knows? But they have some really cool plants you can gather, and they have a proximity voice chat, so while I'm picking flowers, I can be like, hey bro, what's up? You know, like, I don't know, I think that's really cool, but I feel like the same crap is just going to happen, where everyone's going to hate on me, and they're going to raid my girlfriend and family, and they're going to just, I'm never going to make any friends, or I'll try really hard and invest a lot of time into trying to make friends, but they just use me and dump me aside like the trash I am and stuff like that. So, I don't know, man, I don't know what to do. All right, so that's the video. I already took up an hour of your time. If you watch the whole thing, I really do appreciate it. Thanks again, and I'll keep making videos as long as my my body and my spirit and stuff allows it. But eventually, I'm gonna run out of savings, and I won't be able to have any free time left, because I'll have to be working all the time. So who knows? Maybe at some point I can be a bigger channel, and maybe I'll bend the knee and take sponsorships or something, because currently I don't. I really hate that when I watch a YouTube video and they start spewing about some VPN service that you don't need, or some stupid earbuds that, like, I hate earbuds. I don't think I will ever shill earbuds. And oh my god, like, I can just see it now, like, deep into the future, I'm successful and I'm shilling earbuds, and they're like, remember that 1 hour long video where you ranted that you weren't ever going to do the earbud thing, and now you're doing it? And I'll be like, I'm sorry I sold out, please forgive me. And then I'll just lose all integrity, and then the channel dies. I don't really know, man, but I like to keep the videos for you and me, and not some corporation. Like, money is not a driving factor in my life. I don't know if it should be, or if there's just something mentally wrong with me. It's kind of like the whole Mr. Beast thing, where he wants to die with no money to his name. You know, he's just giving all his money away, and I think that's really cool. I mean, I don't think I could do that until I have, like, a home base, you know, like, if I can get a house, right, get a house with a personal gym, get some corgis for my girlfriend, you know, get an In the Groove dance machine. I would love one of those. Those things are so rare. And, you know, just enough money and investments where I don't have to worry about bills or food anymore. And then at that point, I can maybe do the same thing that he does. I think that would be really fun and cool and memorable, because people, like, 100 years from now aren't going to forget that. They're going to be like, hey, back in the 2020s, there was this random teenager that just gave people a whole car lot full of cars just because it was funny and cool, right? I want to be something like that. I would love to be something like that in video games. I know that a lot of the content on my channel is like, oh, I'm going to bully the yellow zone. Oh, I'm going to gank the lobby zone in World of Warcraft. But at the same time, it's like, if I had hundreds of people zerging with me in Rust or something, we would do some really cool stuff. We would just, like, build a freaking mansion and then just find the first player that's solo and be like, hey man, you want a full mansion? And he'd be like, hell yeah. And the reaction would just be so crazy and fun and cool. And even, like, real life stuff, you know, because I've been a down low ghetto brother my entire life, and I think that maybe, hey, if I ever reach that point of insane wealth, that I just want to make dumb videos for people to enjoy, because I think that's really cool. Whenever I log into YouTube and I see how many hours have been watched, I feel like I'm contributing to the world. Whereas when I worked in retail, helping people do returns and helping, you know, just coworkers have an easier time at their work and have less stress, I was always that boss that was like, hey, if a customer's yelling at you, just come get me. I love it when customers yell at me. I feed off of their hatred. And, you know, like, and coworkers love me for that. Coworkers, you know, I always made their lives easier. I always approved time off. I always gave them the vacation days they wanted. I would delay my own vacation so that they could have a vacation with their family wherever. I didn't really care, man, because to me, like, making them happy, that made me happy. And that's what I want to do to the world, but I don't think I'll ever be in the position to be able to do something like that. And it just tears me up. I just don't know what I can do to achieve any kind of success like that, other than maybe YouTube, maybe. I don't know. When I figure it out, I'll do it. But until the meantime, I guess just enjoy the YouTube videos that I make. And I'm sorry to take up all this time. Maybe you're just, like, out gathering or grinding in Albion or something, or whatever game that you're playing while watching this. So I really do appreciate it. Anyway, that's the video. Take care. I'll see you in the next video, unless the channel goes poof one day because of some false flag attack by some hateful dude or something. I don't really know what the future is going to hold or what's going to happen, but I wouldn't be really surprised at this point because people just hate my guts because I share video game secrets about an MMORPG. Like, before I came along, people were playing this game way differently than they do now. And I don't know. I know people have a huge vendetta against me for that, or they think I'm some sort of villainous person in the real world when I'm not. I literally like and enjoy everyone there is. You know, it doesn't matter what they are, what they're into. I just don't want there to be any conflict with my personal beliefs and my personal, you know, views on life, essentially. Like, I like people to respect my freedoms of speech and choice. That's all. I don't want to have to play with a gear set that they disagree with and stuff like that. So I just distance myself from people like that who are very judgmental and who are just out looking to, like, I don't know, be some sort of justice warrior type. Like, I don't really care. I just want to talk about and play video games. I don't really care about the real world. I don't care about the politics in the real world. I just want to have fun and play video games and make memories. That's it. Anyway, I'm Ben, by the way. So I will see you in the next video. Hopefully in the next video I'll be back to SwoleBenji here. I said it in the video. I said it at the end this time. There you go. That's the video. Bye.